Is the paint on me or am I on the paint? Does the brush blend the paint or does the paint blend because of the brush? The answers to these questions and more today on Get Your Paint On. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
It's a deep morning with Dallas.
I've been watching a lot of science fiction movies.
Apparently, yeah.
Good
It's
morning,
like
everybody.
Twilight Zone or Black Mirror or
A
something.
little bit of everything. A lot of science fiction lately. Good morning, everybody. It's Get Your Paint On. I'm your host, Dallas Kemp. Hello.
Hello.
And with us today is Tony Konachak.
Good morning.
And we will probably be joined later by most likely Mr. John Swinkles, but he's not here currently.
He's taking care of super important privateer business.
Oh, I just saw it. It went up.
Oh, nice.
It's up. That hoochala. Holla holla.
Oh, before you announce what we're doing today, we already got Aaron Pritchard looking at the model. We're showing up saying, it's my favorite model.
Yeah. This model's super dope. So, yes, I have the Ashes, the Ashland up here on the paint. What do we call this? The paint
Stand?
stand. The paint gimbal.
Notorious paint stand?
The notorious paint stand. The bane of my life.
I gave you the option. We were going to try without it today and see what happened, but
We're trying something new.
Apparently it's just worked its way into your workflow for these videos because you didn't want to go without it.
I was just like, well, I need it. Now I need it. Except for when I'm at home, then I don't need it. I don't want it. Or downstairs in the studio, then I don't want it. Studio Prime. All right, so we're going to paint Ashes to Ashland. And there she is. And we're trying to, new camera angle. Check it out. Boop, 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 right here in front. This is painter eye view, the painter cam, the brush point of view. I don't know if we can call it something fun. Maybe we'll come up with something funny someday. Also, if everybody wants to see it, I have the studio painted version here before we even start. If anybody wants to see that.
Don't show them the studio painted one.
Don't show it to them?
Nobody wants to see it.
Cool. I'm just going to start here. My phone just went burp, burp.
I think we're picking up a little.
I need to change that.
Little signal noise.
My bad. I'm going to fix that.
There we go.
So, here we go. Painting Ashes to Ashland. This is our first Get Your Paint On back from the holiday break, too.
Yeah.
Hopefully everybody had a fantastic holiday. I know I had a fantastically lazy holiday.
I had the same, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah. We had 4 days of just family busyness between my family and my wife's family. It was just a constant one right after the other. And then after that, we had about a week off of nothing to do. So just hung out with the kiddos and lazed around. I didn't do home projects or
You didn't
big,
know hobbying?
big chores. No, not much.
You didn't work on your Company of Iron?
I didn't work on Company of Iron. I didn't start a new Company of Iron Force. I finished up my gun mages. So next up is one of the other forces I have, either Legion or Retribution. But I did not do anything. I took a big long break.
Nothing wrong with a long break. I did some hobbying. And if you out there in viewer land did any hobbying, I would love to see what you did over the holiday break. People in the hallway are being real loud.
Yeah.
If I didn't have this microphone on, I'd go give them the old what for. Oh, Tony's going to do it. Busted. Busted.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Nice guy, Tony.
Nice guy, Tony. He always asks so politely when he tells people to quit talking loud when broadcasting. So my face here is a little mix of Midland flesh and Ren flesh. I use that Ren to kind of, or use the Midland to kind of deepen up the Ren. The Ren is a little too heavy for me. Sometimes, not always, depends on what I'm painting. Now I'm going to mix some Battle Dress Green into my base color. And I know we don't have a palette cam, but that's all right. I can explain what I'm doing. We can talk about what we doing. A little mixing medium. Show the model. The model's up on the screen. Sound. We're hearing no sound is happening.
No sound.
Can you hear me? 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 Can you hear me now?
Oh.
Travis?
Okay, so maybe.
All right.
Sorry,
they're saying you
Travis.
can
It
hear
might
fine.
just.
There we
Yeah, it
go.
might just be you. Oh, there it goes. You got it worked out.
Cool. Awesome.
I like that I was saying with someone who was complaining that they had no sound. I was like, well, it's just your problem. It's got to be on
You're
your
just
end.
like-
Everybody else can hear me just
Just
fine.
like, that's
So,
fine.
so fix it. Do what you got to do.
So
I'll
there's a
walk
little
you
button,
through it.
There's a little button on the side of your phone. There's two little buttons. One has an arrow up, one has an arrow down.
Or a plus and minus.
Or plus and minus.
Oh, hi, everybody.
And Swinkles is here.
What's up, John?
Not much. I was just making the Hooch Holler
Yeah.
pre-order page.
Yeah.
You just unleashed that on the world. I saw it.
Unleash the beast.
I already shared it too. I was all over that.
You can go to privateerpress.com, check out today's insider, and follow the links to the store to pre-order your Hooch Holler.
Past two insiders have been really good. JR's little insider the other day was awesome.
Lock and load tickets.
I'm so stuck for lock and load. Lock and load is my favorite time of the year. Basically.
Basically.
There's always a lot going on.
Lock and load's dope.
Hello back to you, Peter from the Czech Republic. Peter? Peter? How'd you
Peter.
say it?
Probably Peter.
Might be Peter or Peter. I'm not sure which.
I don't know. I'm not proficient in language words.
You speak with paint.
I speak with my heart.
Do you speak with all the colors of the wind?
Aaron asked what earlier. I don't think I answered what the colors were we were using. So the base color is Ren flesh with a touch of Midland flesh. I didn't want Ashlyn to be like super pale. She's a warrior. She's out in the battlefield. She's seen the tragedies and horrors of war. So a little Midland mixed into the Ren. And then for my first shade, which I just applied, is some Battle Dress Green mixed into that base color. And then added some mixing medium. And then thinned it down just a touch and gave that into my shadows. So, and we're going to let that dry.
What does the green do for you in that instance?
So, if you look at Caucasian skin, and a lot of Caucasian skin has a touch of green in it if you look real close. You probably can't see it on the screen. It's not very good.
Yeah, I can kind of see it.
But in the shadows, there's always a little bit of green, especially if you have a Seattle tan like Dallas. That green really shines through.
A Bellevue burn, if you will.
Bellevue burn. That Seattle tan, man, I'm telling you. But there's a little bit of green in Caucasian skin. So by putting that green down, and then we're also going to do some red and green make brown. You get a really nice skin tone out of that.
It kind of retains properties of both the red and the green at
Yeah.
the same time.
Well, and there are also two fairly new flesh washes that are available for folks, right? The Caspian and the Cossite.
And they are those are actually when I made those mixes, the whole philosophy behind those two was that. So the Cossite flesh wash is very much a red brown, and the Caspian flesh wash is very much a yellow green brown.
Mm-hmm.
Yellow green brown. It's really just 3 colors all mixed together. That's all I did. Super secret tech. And you can use those separately or together to kind of mimic the effects of that.
And Joe is asking, what if you wanted to give her kind of a more Asiatic skin tone?
Lean a little bit. You want it to be less fair.
Mm-hmm.
So I would usually mix a little, say, beast hide into my midland flesh, and tone more of my shades into the yellow-green spectrum.
Okay. And then Ed Burrell, hi Ed,
Hello, Ed.
says he's been using Deathless Metal, Sickly Skin, and Cossite Flesh Wash a lot lately. Do we know if there's any more colors coming out over the next year? I haven't heard anything, but
There's always a chance. That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
that would be dope.
I always have a ton of little plans in my pocket.
Mhm.
You know? Well, a lot of little ideas.
So sorry, Ed, nothing confirmed yet, but we'll see.
Dallas likes coming up with stuff. I'm just painting some pig iron on her little metal bits here while we wait for our flesh wash, or not flesh wash, our flesh colors to dry. Oh, we're supposed to show the studio model, aren't we? Everybody was just like, show the studio model. Let's show the studio model.
And who painted the studio model?
That was painted by Mr. Brendan Roy. Let's bring it up. Let's bring it out.
Now, is it because it's got fire on it, and so far his fire stuff is just amazing?
He has done a lot of fire since he's gotten here.
Well, because I think he started with Horgle 2, right? As far as stuff with fire on
I
it.
think that was his first fire job.
Yeah.
Where do we got? Am I on the screen?
A little higher. Rising from the ashes,
There we
ashes
go.
to ashland.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Dude, those
did a
wings
really
are
good job.
rad. Yeah.
I can't wait to get mine.
And she's flying away to the moon.
Don't encourage Chick.
Always encourage Chick. Encourage Chick to be the most chick he can chick.
Legit. What else you got going on the table over there?
Well, we started talking about our holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is our first show back from the holiday.
Yep. Post-turkey
And
rage.
It was a super good holiday. Mine was super lazy, but I still got some stuff done. So I did bring in something that I worked on over the holiday. If we want to, if we want to show it.
When next time we have to wait for something to dry, probably.
Yeah.
Steelhead
No rush.
Hunter 81 on Twitch wants to know which of us is going to paint his Ashes to Ashland.
You are.
Me.
No,
No.
him.
Oh, yes.
He's going
Steelhead,
to.
I think you're
Steelhead
painting
is
your
going to
miniature.
paint Steelhead's
And
miniature.
send us a picture of it when it's done.
Trust me, buddy. I ain't cheap.
Speaking of sending pictures, last time we showed off Tony's Company of Iron, and we'd like to show off more of your guys' stuff. So if you go to mini-crate.com,
Oh boy, here we go.
down at the bottom of the that initial page there's a place to submit your pictures of your painted minis.
That's awesome.
It says Mini Crate Minis, but there's a trick. You can submit any Privateer Press mini that you've painted, and we want to show them off on the stream so
Yep.
that we can show off what you're painting.
Send us your photos.
Because it's not called Get Our Paint On.
It's
It's called Get...
your paint on.
Exactly.
So it's the royal your. Like all of us.
Y'all.
Y'all. It's get y'all's paint on.
However, I do look forward to abusing my connections to get photos of my miniature on.
Well, you
To get
are
your paint on
kind of
stream.
sitting at the board, so
Yeah,
like, it's
that's
not just a
that's what I.
connection. The board.
That's what I
It's
mean.
not a connection.
It's
The
no, it's a
would be
great
as if
connection.
you knew me and I was on the board. That's a connection.
No, this
if it's
my-
just you, that's just You.
my personal connection supersedes. It's one less, right?
It's one less step to
it's
take.
One less
it's-
step.
it's
We just
Tony
cutting
Prime.
out a middleman.
Tony Prime.
Just going right to the source.
Yeah. So share what you painted. Share your mini crate models. Share your Company of Iron models. Share your current War Machine, steamroller list that you're painting up. Painted models only.
Whatever you got, play it painted.
Hashtag play it painted. Painted models only. Share them, and we want to show them off on Get Your Paint On, and be like, check this out.
Even
Steve McGee painted this, and we
If-
think it's the bee's knees.
in the past, you may have had questions for Dallas, and his response may have been, without seeing it, I'm not really sure what to advise you for next. You can send those to social media at privateerpress.com via the emails, and we'll take a look at them
Whoa,
and see
this
if we
sounds
can
like
help
work.
you out.
You sound like you're putting me to work now.
Always.
Damn it.
So there's also a question
I
on.
keep dodging work, but it doesn't ever work.
There's a question from Joe Harder on Facebook. And I think if I understand his question, it's what would you?
did the one? Yep.
Oh man, see
Yeah,
that's what
they
happens.
skipped. Yep.
I apologize. That's what happens
You
when I'm
stick to
messing with
Twitch.
too many windows. I'm gonna be over here. You guys got Facebook. I got Twitch.
However, Carl on Facebook says, are you going to do the wings a fire color, or are you going to go for a different mystical kind of color?
I will take suggestions, but I'm not putting it to a vote. I learned my lessons with these votes because, as we've talked before, JR skews the vote and makes it terrible. So I will take suggestions. I would love to hear your suggestions. I was thinking of green fire.
Mhm.
I was thinking of purple fire,
Mhm.
like the flames,
flames of
the
Lael.
flames of Lael manifesting. That's all I really got.
This is another one of those
Or
models
just
that
fire.
could totally be painted on the side of a van and be metal as hell.
Oh yeah, she's total metal, right? I love her. So
You immediately got Greg going, look at these purple fire wings.
we can do purple fire wings,
What color are you using for the armor right now?
pig iron.
Pig iron.
And then Mr. Diaz, who likes to hang out in these chats a lot. Hello, Mr. Diaz.
Hello, Mr. Diaz.
He was asking about painting gold, and the place I would point you is there's a Formula P3 Presents series of 2 videos on painting Scorn armor, painting the Scorn red and the gold on there. Check that out because that's the best tip I've ever gotten for painting gold.
Yeah, it's a more specific question, not a broad question about gold, because gold can mean so much. But a more specific question, I can give a better answer. Let me know exactly what
Well,
you're
so
thinking there, Mr.
how do you
Diaz.
recommend? He says, how do you recommend painting gold? He's painting OW3, and there's a lot of gold on that model, but I'm not sure I'm doing it right. Layer after layer after layer.
Yeah. Paint it silver, and then use some, like the quickest way, and a really neat trick is paint it silver, and then use glazes over the top of that with like yellow ink and brown ink, and turn your silver into gold. It's like paint alchemy. Palchemy.
I think paint alchemy just works.
All right, fine, whatever. Don't let me combine my words. Or you paint it all silver, and then paint it. I like molten bronze,
Mm-hmm.
and then mix a little brown ink and sanguine base and do a wash,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can just highlight with solid gold. But
So
those are the quick and dirties, right?
yeah, the quickest and dirtiest that I've ever done is really similar to that. I dry brushed the entire model basically in cold iron, and then I highlighted with radiant platinum, like in certain
Yeah.
spots, and then I did the gold over that
Yeah.
in like two very thin layers,
Yeah.
and then it already had a highlight.
Yep.
And that's how I did the ones for those red and gold Signar that I have.
Yeah, you can let that shine through a little, and it works really, really nice. So I'm just taking my time. Like I know the skin is dry and ready for the next layer, but just taking my time and getting some the rest of the silver on here while we're talking.
You know, I
Get
like
your
it,
paint
like
on, you do what you want.
she also doesn't seem like a very complex model. Like she's got a lot of good detailing, but not a lot of different areas that you would have to worry about painting and
Yeah,
matching.
She doesn't have a lot of obstruction for sure.
It's armor, fire, a face, a little tiny touch of cloth. So I think I think the real joy of this model and painting it is going to be, I'm going to do a lot of like tricks just to make this armor go fast. Like I'm just going to paint it pig iron and do a couple washes and then highlights, and I'm going to be done with it, right? I'm going to take a little more time on the faces and bases, right? It's this old adage of faces and bases. Do with the face, and then work the fire. And then because I did so little work on the metal, I can actually glaze some of the fire glow onto the metal, and it'll make it look even better.
Oh, that's cool.
So
I'm kind of interested to see how to pull that
it's
off.
almost like changing the highlights to, instead of highlighting with like Quicksilver, which I will still do a little bit, but highlighting with the fire glow to create
It's like a glaze over
volume.
that. I dig it.
So we'll see what happens. I'm ready to start. Let's go ahead and put the next layer of the face on.
What are you using for that?
So for this, we're going to take our base color and Scorn Red and some mixing medium and mix that together.
So what makes you like Scorn Red there instead of, say, Sanguine Base or some of the other reds?
Sanguine base works pretty good as well. Scorn Red just has a nice interaction with the Battle Dress Green.
Oh, okay. I'm just being selfish as hell and asking my
No,
own
no,
questions.
it's, oh man, that was way too much.
That was a lot of mixing medium.
I forgot to shake it. And it's been setting for 2 weeks for the holidays.
Splort.
Oopsies! Shake up the mixing medium. 1 drop. That's all you need. 1 drop. And some.
Yeah, luckily they can't see the atrocity on your palette. 'Cause we don't have
I made
palette
a
cam.
mess. Made a mess. Mix this up. Mix it up. That's a little too heavy. So it's a nice rosy color once I put this on. It's going to
Okay.
be pretty thin. It's pretty translucent because of the mixing medium. And I want this to go over the green to create some warmth on her face.
Well, it should add a little depth to it as well, yeah.
It'll add depth because it is a shade, because it is darker than the, so it is creating volume, but it's also just adding that nice rosiness and putting some life into that flesh.
Right on. So I have a question for the folks watching on either Facebook or Twitch or wherever you're watching this.
Oh yeah,
from.
we're on Twitch today.
If they're watching us somewhere else from Twitch or Facebook, then I'd
never
start
know.
looking
It's-
around
dude,
in the
it's the
shadows
internet.
of this room.
It's the internet.
That
you,
fair-
can embed
Fair
things
enough.
anywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
What are you guys painting? What are you guys working on right now? Let me know.
Yeah, share. Let us know what you're working on. More brushes are going to touch that camera a little bit there. So this is kind of like a wash, basically. I'll blend it just a touch. Remove some of that.
I think Carl just said that he's painting his dervish right now. Nevin says he's painting up his first unit. What unit of what?
Yeah,
Michael
that-
Flesher Jr. I don't paint. Let's fix that. Beer Thralls is painting all the Grimkin.
All
not,
the
not just one,
Grimkin.
not just some. All the Grimkin. Okay, so the unit Nevin is painting is the Bane Warriors, experimenting with assembly line.
I'm gonna tell you right now, man. I've seen a lot of comments and questions about assembly line painting lately, and I'm like, there are people who are against it. I'm just dumbfounded.
I love it.
I'm like, I cannot do any unit without assembly line.
What were some of their comments about being against it?
Just just not liking it and not thinking that it actually helps or makes it faster. And I'm like, I really think it. Like, I can't imagine painting a whole unit without assembly line. It's way faster.
Well, and to be fair, different things work for different folks,
Things work
but-
for different folks, sure. But man, it's just, for me personally, I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
I just can't imagine not just taking that color and going blue, 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 green, 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 yellow, 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 wash, 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 highlight, 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 done.
Right? So apparently Nate Brooks is sculpting right now.
Oh, nice. What are you sculpting?
And then Jeff Nelson has some Laylee's models on his bench. He's waiting for his Ashlyn and Trenchers and Thorn Gun Mages at the moment. I love those Thorn Gun Mages. That sculpt is dope
Yeah,
on all three of them.
they're so good. Yeah, I have
So
Well,
good.
those are in your
I have those
company
three
of
painted
art,
up. Well, yeah, I swap them in and out.
Yeah.
I have the Black 13th in my company of iron, and so I've got the Thorn Gun Mages all painted up, and I just kind of sneaking them in there a little bit.
right? Nice.
Chris Boyer
and-
just finished up a unit of reciprocators, and next up is Orion.
And then on Twitch, we got Iron Wolfbeard just got some new circle models. Von Helliger is painting up some Grimkin, and then P Hobbit or Fobbit is trying to wrap up his protectorate.
Hobbit.
I
Protectorate
really want to be
Deliverers
Hobbit.
so that he can move on to Crucible Guard when they come out.
Yeah, Crucible Guard. Man, I'm so.
Oh man, like I have a slew of different things that like we're gonna be able to talk about that soon. So soon.
Yeah,
Yes.
all sorts of cool Crucible Guard
Yeah,
neatness.
I expect some stuff like as far as like like maybe a few stat spoilers and stuff to drop like next month.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
I mean,
If
that was
everything
almost a
continues
spoiler
shaking
within
out.
itself, wasn't it?
What's that?
That was almost a spoiler
It's
within
a, it's a
itself.
spoiler to be watching
be
for
spoiled.
A
spoilers.
spoiler for spoilers.
So meta.
Right on.
Travis is painting his Pharaoh from Company of Iron.
Spellspark is painting up 4 Chargers.
4 Chargers.
4. He's
That's a
calling
lot of
his
Chargers.
firing squad. Yeah.
Okay. Word.
It's a lot of Chargers.
Oh, Greg's got a good one. He's working on the Eilish that came with No Quarter Prime #1, and he asks if there are any tips for making a cloak that looks like a space scape. So like all nebula with like stars and stuff like that.
Yeah, go to some websites, look up what they look like. Paint it-
References.
Paint it black.
Mm-hmm.
Paint take coal black,
Mm-hmm.
and so this. Okay, so as you progress in your 2-brush blending, you get really good at. What you can learn to do is as you're getting better at it, you can start learning how to use being bad at it to your advantage.
Okay.
So so you can create bad blends that actually create interesting effects. So like if you look at Nebula, it has some of them have a hard line and then it blends out from that, it kind of dissipates.
Sure.
That hard line is not good in general.
Normal blending. Yeah.
In normal, like if I was painting this wing, I wouldn't want a hard line. But on something like a Nebula or spots on an animal or things like that, you can use that line of a bad, I'm going to put some air quotes on the camera, bad blend to get that effect and then blend it out and get that swooshiness, that very watery that doesn't actually look good when you're blending on a
Hashtag
surface.
swooshiness.
But it would look good on Nebula, and you can use that to your advantage. And then you put little tiny dots and some magentas and purples and all those little colors is what you want to look at.
Well, there you go.
There you go. Get your paint on, get your paint on, paint on.
And Dallas
What?
P Hobbit, but I'm gonna from now on it's Fobbit.
Fobbit.
Just it's fun to say.
Fobbit.
So I apologize if it's P Hobbit, but it's Fobbit from here on out. Fobbit says he met you at PAX Unplugged and that you helped out his painting immensely.
Aw, that makes me feel good. Well, I'm glad it's helping there, Fobbit. And I'm with Tony. It's Fobbit.
Yeah, it's Fobbit.
I like P Hobbit.
I'm just gonna say, like, even if it is P Hobbit, I think he's just
He's just Fobbit now.
just own it.
Sure.
Just Fobbit.
Riker's Iron wants to know who will
Who
be
else
at
is
Lock
going
and
to
Load.
Yeah.
Everybody?
Everybody should be. Oh my God, Lock and Load's gonna be so good this year. So good.
I'm excited.
Like I can't wait to start dropping those bombs, but you know, like just as a nice gentle reminder, this is the 15th anniversary of War Machine.
Wait, what?
15 years.
So
15
needless to
years.
say, there's gonna be some dope stuff going on. And those tickets are available now.
Right now.
And maybe we'll see Michael Chili Winters there, who just joined us in the Twitch chat.
Hello, Chili.
He said happy birthday to you, Dallas.
Oh, thanks. It was my birthday the other day.
And we're Pagani. Not in the room, but in the chat and in our hearts.
Pagani's never far from my heart and thoughts.
But that's because brisket.
I mean, you know,
It's
that
hard.
helps.
It's hard to forget that brisket. It's a lingering flavor.
Greg's like, Lock and Load last year was dope. This will be more dope. So take all the dopeness from last year and multiply it by amazing, and that's the level of dope that we're going for this year.
How many zeros does amazing have
All of them.
when you multiply?
All of them. Well, slightly less than awesome, but not by much.
Spellspark has an interesting question. He says, "Are there any suggestions on how to paint a red hot metal effect?" And so my mind immediately goes to how to paint fire, but then I never really thought about how to paint a red hot metal. It's never come up before.
Well, if we get to it, we're going to see some of the highlights on the metal armor from the fire, and I don't know if it's going to deviate too much from that. Dallas?
So I'm imagining what he's talking about is like
Like
hard
a
fire?
poker.
Or
a
hard
poker.
fire?
Yeah.
Like from,
Something
like,
that's been
inside
sitting
of a-
in
Yeah.
flame. Yeah.
So like
Red hot.
Red hot.
there is a good tutorial on Horgel 1. And I'd
Oh,
have
Brendan's fire video?
no,
Oh, different one.
Horgel 1
Oh, back in the...
back in the days. There's a good tutorial on him. I'd have to remember what book that's in. There's a good tutorial on him, but basically you want to paint your metal, and then you're going to have to do two brush blending and glazing, and you're going to blend white over top of your metal and then use glazing to bring all that together to make it look hot.
Yeah. Give it that little bit of a like glow shine.
Yeah.
not
So that's-
full shine.
So the white underneath is going to give it that glow brightness from your glazes. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
you need that. Yeah, you need that as like a way to establish the temperature.
Tim suggested that he has also watered down the metallic itself and used that as a glaze over a red orange. Depending on the surface, that could work.
I've not tried that, so I can't say yay or nay. But if Tim says it works,
And then Reeb110 on Twitch is going to paint up some trenches, but wants to make I'm guessing the ground look like red Georgia clay. So do you have a recommended formula?
Bloodstone, Blood Tracker Brown, Umbra Lumber. Those would be your colors to look at. And do not forget to use picture references.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially when it comes to doing the highlight, because I'm not as familiar with the red Georgia clay, so I don't know if that has like a warmer highlight to it or a cooler one.
Yeah, I'd have to look at a picture. I would say probably, I think it's cooler, so you're going to mix some maybe coal black down into your blood tracker and make a nice purpley shadow
Yeah.
for that.
But once you figure it out, take a picture, send it to us,
Send a pic.
show us, and
I
and tell us how
wanna
you did it.
see you. I want to see you. What you
Alec
got.
asks, did he miss doing the water and basing on the Kraken? I don't think so. Or did you already get that done?
So let's talk about our holiday.
Let's talk about our holiday. Hashtag turkey rage.
I can't get to everything on her because of the gimbal.
Take it off the gimbal.
We're going to do it like this.
It's get your paint on. You do what you want.
So over the holiday, I did some hobbying. First thing I did, I totally rearranged my whole studio at home, which was awesome, and it's totally different now. And I'm totally excited for my changes that I did to my my little home studio setup. So I did that, and then I did work on the Krakens. The Krakens have been rebased. Uh-oh. Hang on. I still? Am I on? How's that?
Don't. There you go.
Is that good?
Yeah, you're
Okay.
pretty good. Get in there. I can refocus if you
Can you focus on
get in
that?
there. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Click, click,
I
click,
closed,
click.
I closed all my things
Zoom,
on accident.
enhance,
Enhance. Hold on.
enhance, zoom,
All right.
zoom. Can you bounce
Here
the
we go.
camera off the Buick's
Oh no, it's too close.
too close?
Can't focus. Got to go back a little bit. Right about there. That's about as close as it can get. Stay focused. Back a little bit from there too. That's good.
The face is starting to get there.
Oh yeah, we can see it.
Third shade is a mix of battle dress green and scorn red to make a nice brown
Those wings are so dope.
to start blocking that in. So over the hobby day,
Mm-hmm.
I messed up the camera.
Tony's adjusting the camera.
I did work on my Krakens.
Mm-hmm.
I painted. I touched up the glow like I discussed, and I made my bases, and they're mounted to the bases, and the first layer of water is on the bases.
And by first layer of paint on the water, or like actually the first layer
The
of
first layer
the
water.
material.
The
Okay.
material,
Gotcha.
the realistic water effect
Mhm.
is the first layer that is on there.
So in theory, we could show more progress on that.
Sure, yeah,
In one
absolutely.
of the coming videos.
Now, can we show this?
Yes,
Can we show this?
please.
So, if you were watching over the holiday, you might have seen a video of me lacing into a Dracodile.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so, this is my work in progress of that. I'll let Tony focus it in.
He's got some candles on him.
He's got a funny hat, because sometimes your friends wear funny hats, and you don't judge them for that. So I got candles on him. I'm starting to wrap his snoot in some rope. That still needs some work to get stuck in there. I've taken all those holes and started sculpting
Some sinew.
muscly, stretchy, muscly, sinewy bits. He's got some ribs. That big gouge I
That's
made.
cool.
That's really neat.
He's got guts
Nice.
hanging out.
So he's kind of like the undead dudes
Yes.
in the blind water.
Well, actually, as if you look, I got some little gems from the craft store.
Ooh.
So he's like a big blind.
He's got
worker.
some bling.
And of course, those will be painted and painted red. So the next step is I need to damage his tail. I realized I didn't do hardly any damage or anything to the tail. So I'm going to cut a big chunk out of this. I'm thinking about piercing his tail
Mhm.
and putting like a little fishing bobber on it.
So is he going to be like part of the bling water theme for
The
us?
bling water theme.
Dude.
You're welcome.
My forehead is on my mic for that one. I like it.
Yeah.
And need to sculpt skin flaps and some stretched over skin and like just the mangled skin.
Are you going to do some of that gauze effect that you were doing on your Krakens maybe?
No gauze.
No? Okay.
No, I'm just gonna go with just straight Gata stuff. Maybe break off some of these
Spines.
spines. So it's just kind of going and just kind of whatever I feel like doing to him, I just do.
Yeah.
So
'Cause why
hopefully
not?
Hopefully it looks cool. And now, of course, these aren't connected yet with wax. I need to go through and sculpt and make these candles
Mm-hmm.
have a better transition. They're just stuck on there with glue. And then I'll putty to increase the transition. I got putty around the gem to make it look like it's actually embedded in his eye.
That's awesome.
So that was my hobby. Tony, what'd you hobby?
Over the break, I did nothing. I really didn't.
I knew that was
I hung out with you on Christmas Eve, and then played a lot of games with my kids and ran around. Car tracks, Legos.
Mm-hmm. 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 Seems legit.
I looked at hobby stuff longingly,
You're like,
but did nothing.
And yes, Chris, we are reading the chat. I did not do much. I thought I didn't do anything, but upon remembering, like, I did get all my Risavos stuff, like, reset up on my painting table at home.
Nice.
And I need to get cracking on them.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah. No, I did take my Legion and Retribution parts out of the box for what's coming up for my next Company of Iron lists and look at them. And then that was it.
Longingly.
Yeah, and then that was as far as it got. I just kind of got to drool a bit, and then I was done.
Travis Scott says, Dallas, just make a Crix Company of Iron army for me. I can't come close to your skills or ideas. And Travis, that is incorrect.
And also,
That's
you're the only one who can do
wrong.
your army.
You're wrong. So the trick is to keep going because practice is how you get better. And if you don't paint stuff, you can't improve.
I saw there was a comment
That's
earlier
true.
talking about being demoralized
From doing
the assembly
Assembly
line, and then my response at the time wanted to be like, dude, it's not the assembly line. Just painting is fun. It should be fun. So yeah, just don't worry about the how and the what and the what the results are. Just kick back and
just the why.
put some paint on a model.
The why being it's
Do you want to know?
fun.
Yeah, honestly, like I had somebody ask me the other day how to motivate themselves to paint the last like 2 hours on their Bane Riders. And I'm like, you just do it. You just do it, right? It's
Do 5 minutes.
and they're like, well, fear and stuff like that. And I'm like, why? Like I only do what I do because I just do it, right? It's like I don't have a. It's just about doing it. It's not about. I don't worry about how's it going to look at the end. I don't worry about is John going to think it looks cool. I don't worry about
Because I'm going to.
I don't worry. Like I've never worried about that. Like I've never worried about is somebody going to think that this looks cool. All I worry about, do I think this looks cool, and am I having fun? And that leads you to many more places, in my opinion.
I actually don't even worry about the whether or not I think it looks cool if I learned something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like if I picked up like if I figured out a way to do something a little bit better or make something look a little bit cooler or like get a certain color to pop the way I wanted it to, even like through like happy accidents or intent or whatever the method, and I get to use that again either on a new model or what have you, then I'm super happy.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting because a lot of the miniatures that I painted in the past over the years, the ones that stand out the most are invariably the ones where I was really trying to do something different or new. It wasn't the ones that were excellent paint jobs that I thought came out well. It was always the ones where maybe it was kind of sort of
And you're like,
kind of
because
grungy
I
and not
kinda-
awesome, but I was trying something new, and so those are typically the ones that stand around a little more.
I had a couple of Kador models I was painting from like the new battle group box that I was painting for a friend, and I just completely messed it up, right? Like how I was like shading the axe on the Juggernaut, and it ended up turning out into like a really cool ice effect, like purely by accident. I was just like, oh, I want to get a little exile blue on here and highlight with it. Oh man, that looks like garbage. And then like I added like one more layer, and all of a sudden like, wait, that looks like dope ice. So yeah.
Another overlooked technique for painting miniatures is fixing mistakes.
Pull that back just a little bit. Thank you. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
I think that was it.
Oh yeah, well, it was just the idea of Dallas talks all the time about the fine art of miniature painting is fixing your mistakes, and it's literally when things don't go the way you plan. The fun part kind of happens when you're like, what do I do now?
I agree.
How do I work? How do I fix this mistake? How do I repair it? How do I back it up? Or how do I move on from here and use it into something new?
Yeah, it's definitely. I have models that I've painted in the past, and I'm just like, these are not good. But I learned something.
Yeah.
And that's okay. It's okay to have models that you don't like, I guess. You did it. You did the thing. You learned, right? I painted Juggernauts before, and I'm like, these aren't good. I bought new Juggernauts. I paint them. I'm like, these are way better, and I love these Juggernauts.
Yep. And we've got some people that have come in a little bit late. Dallas is currently painting his Ashes to Ashland, which is a mini crate alternate sculpt for Ashland Delise. This is the January mini crate, so unfortunately subscriptions for this one have already passed, but she will be shipping, I believe, on sometime between the 11th and the 13th. So folks that subscribed and got her should be getting her in their mailbox soon. And then there is still until the 19th to subscribe to make sure you get Bradigan Pitt. And his sculpt is dope.
Yeah,
I like his furry coat.
I love his coat. I love that like in all the concept art he's got like a lot of the tattoos that just regular Bloody Bradigan has or slight differences. I am looking forward to, for the first time, like actually trying my hand at some freehand tattoos, because they're not on the sculpt that I've seen so far. I don't know if that's changed.
They're not on
but
the
like
sculpt, no.
Basically I get to make them be whatever I want them to be. So I'm gonna give them all kinds of like nerd tattoos.
And on our YouTube channel, P3 Presents, we have a fantastic video of Dallas showing how to do tattoos.
Yep, that's gonna be on in the background, and I'm gonna give it a shot because I've never done it before.
He was sculpted by Nathan Lombardi, and he's really cool looking. I really love his sculpt, and I'm excited to get my hands on him. He's really awesome looking. And yeah, he's got plenty of places for awesome freehand.
Nathan Howard nailed it. Quotes, "Not good is still painted, which is way better than not painted."
Yep.
What's your favorite
any
color,
painted
Dallas?
is always better.
My favorite color?
Your favorite color?
Done.
Done.
Dunzo. All right, let's make some whoosh.
As Nick Barbian just said, and done is the ultimate color. Ooh, what you got there?
I got a little greatcoat gray.
This is going to be for the armor?
Yep.
I've been ignoring my little color swatches. I've been bouncing back and forth. And doing
You are
stuff,
literally
so-
the worst.
I know. It's,
Little
You have
greatcoat.
one job, Tony.
tough job sitting in my chair,
job.
clicking.
Make the internets work.
Yeah, the mini crate. I love Ashes Ashland. I think everybody who has seen her can't not deny how awesome she is. Bloody Bradigan. I agree. Same thing. I think he's just super awesome. But there's a lot of stuff coming for mini crate that's
Oh, I can't
really, really cool.
wait. I cannot wait.
Something with 2 pistols is coming that I'm super excited about. So got some
Something a little wild is coming.
little wild.
Drake Scott commented on the Ashland model. This is a great model to wing it on.
Yeah, because he was talking about this. Yeah. Wah, wah.
Hey.
Hey, all.
Woo!
Patrick Wilson says, "Hey, Dallas."
Hello. Alright, so I'm going to use this greatcoat gray. I mixed in a little mixing medium to increase its translucency and thinned it down to just about wash consistency. I'm placing it into the deepest crevices and shadows and nooks and crannies, and then blending it out.
Are those the shadows on her legs or on that fire down there? It's a little hard to see. With
It's
the
on her legs.
darkness.
It's on the
Okay.
metal. It's a shade for the metals.
Andrew asks if we can do a P3 Presents about cleaning mold lines in difficult areas. Looking at you, Cataphract, Incendiary, or about filling gaps.
Gap filling would be good.
It would be a
We've
good
talked about gap filling
We've talked
before.
about that one. So yeah, cleaning up
I
some
thought that's what I thought.
tough to reach areas and doing some gap filling, I think would be a really good video. So yes, Andrew,
We did
we
gap
can.
filling.
Did we?
Tony, didn't we do gap filling? I thought
No,
I
that
think
was
we did,
it,
like, a
it was we
little
had
bit.
talked about it. It was on for the last block, and then we ultimately decided that we didn't have time for it.
So we can, we should, and we probably will.
there's no idea that will not be covered eventually with given enough time.
Drake Scott is thinking about making this model his entry into the Lock and Load Grandmaster.
I would love that.
So speaking of which, P3 Grandmaster, we're still doing that twice a year, right? doing that at Lock and Load and Gen Con still?
Lock and Load Gen Con.
Okay. So yeah, basically
And
participate in that.
Some
There's fabulous
rules
prizes.
went up. They are subject to change. You should totally enter even if you've never entered a painting competition before.
Do it.
Enter. Remember, it's a painting competition, so it really does help to not in judging, right? So please understand my words very carefully here. Your mentality going into it. Take a model that you like, something that's not part of your army, and paint it. And don't paint it like you would paint your army. Like, really give yourself some
Creative freedom.
creative freedom and some room to really explore on it. And enter it into the P3 Grandmaster. The best thing about the P3 Grandmaster is the feedback you get from judges. You're going to get feedback from me, Brendan Roy, Ron Cruzy, and we will sit down and we will talk you through what you did on your miniature and your approach to it, and give you tips and tricks and pointers and hopefully some inspiration. Like everything I am is because Ron Cruzy gave me tips and tricks and pointers and inspiration in painting competitions. But also the prizes is
Fabulous prizes.
fabulous prizes.
I don't think we've announced the prizes for this year yet. I'll have to look.
Yeah, I would like to reiterate though, if you're just looking to bump up your painting skill,
yeah, you're gonna jump.
not
at it.
worrying about placing and just getting a miniature in that competition will help your painting immensely.
It's so true.
If only to get the feedback from like Ron and Dallas.
It's just the feedback. And also remember, we do a different style. There's no first, second, and third place. Like everybody who deserves a bronze gets a bronze. Everybody deserves a silver gets silver. Everybody deserves a gold gets a gold. And then out of the gold, somebody gets a grandmaster, right?
Right.
But like it's what am I trying to get at? It's a get in there and just paint, right? It's get that feedback, get that information, and don't worry about what other people are doing. You're only competing against yourself.
Couple
which is
of
just good
really
life
good follow-up
idea.
questions to that from Alec and Rikers and a few other folks. Dallas, did you win one before getting hired at Privateer Press?
I did. I did win the 2015 Lock and Load P3 Grandmaster. I think it was 15, and that was
14 or 15, yeah.
I can't remember. I'm so bad at dates.
And then, is there a limit on entries? Like, can only 50 people enter, or is it open to as many entrants as we get?
As many entrants as we get.
Can you enter more than one model in different categories?
In different categories, you can't enter one model in multiple categories.
Right.
You can enter one model in one category, and you can only enter each category once.
And if you want the full rules, there's an insider on privateerpress.com that went up yesterday.
Yeah, go look at those.
JR put up there about the Lock and Load tickets being on sale, available now, where you can also link to get your tickets. But the P3 Grandmaster rules are there. And Doug Hamilton is in the chat.
I'm going to post that link right now.
Post that link right now, Tony.
Doug Hamilton.
Can you post it in Twitch as well?
Yes, I will. I will do
Fantastic.
Boom,
Look at
boom.
you, mastery of the internet.
Yeah.
He
And
figured
actually,
it out.
Right before I do that, we have Derumator from Chile tuning in. So,
Ooh.
yeah, say hi to him because
Hello.
that's a
from
long way
Chile.
from us to watch the internet.
The internet. What?
Yeah, I don't know if that
Tony,
matters.
You're in charge of the internet.
Tony
You
has
don't
like
know
the
how it
stupidest
works.
grin on his face right now.
You traveled a long way through the internet to get here, fella.
When Doug came all the way from St. Louis.
Hey, Doug, I'm painting your miniature.
Did he sculpt Ashlyn?
Yep. I sent him a message telling him we're painting her. So get in here, boy.
His response so far is ooh. I tried to do that in my best Dougie Hams impression.
That was not it.
Probably not.
Doug says it's chilly here. Actually, chilly is in Twitch.
Oh God.
I'm not, it's a pun. It's pun day. What are you gonna do?
No, let's get your paint on day.
Let's get your
Not
paint
get your
on
pun
day.
day.
It's not, yeah, you gotta get your pun day.
There's so many puns
You
in
get
here.
your own day, Tony.
I feel like Brendan needs to be in this room.
What mistake did I make? Did I do a mistake?
I don't know anything about that. You might
See,
be
I
wrong
love
in
when
the
I see
chat.
Dallas doing mistakes. Makes me feel so much better when I mess up. Excuse me.
Well, I mess up all the time.
Painting is the art of
Fixing your
one's
mistakes. It's I mess up all the time. All right, what next? Let's do some horror.
So we're right up at the 11 o'clock mark. We can always go on for a few more minutes, but just know what time we're at when you're starting something new. You know, time to finish. Although it would be nice to see some color go on those wings. How fast you think we could even get a light glaze or base coat going on those? Do we have time for that?
Sure, why not?
Don't sound so excited.
It wasn't lack of excitement. It was just Tony demanding. It's just, always, just Tony demanding.
Is it the request came from me? That was the problem.
Yeah.
Dude, look at Doug like stealing my thunder. I was about to answer Alexander's question, but like he's just like, oh, I do what I want. He thinks just because he's in St. Louis, I can't reach him.
We'll get him in this room one
I'll
day.
get him because he's
Even
he's probably
remotely
gonna-
into
he's
this
probably
room.
going to show up to LVO or something else that I'll be at, and I'll just have to take him to task. Doug likes to drop spoilers before he's been approved to drink spoilers.
Doug,
And
shame.
it is
Oh man.
my responsibility to squish him. Because I was going to bring up the fact that there's new Cricks stuff coming that we spoiled on the last Get Your Paint On before the holidays.
Well, CID spoiled that.
No, but the actual models themselves. We
Oh,
started showing
sure.
some of those off, and they're dope. And yes, Dougie Hams sculpted them.
Yeah, we mentioned that.
And Randall says he's really hoping to see Scar 3 when she gets
Whee!
close to dropping. I guarantee we'll have some Scar 3 stuff on here. Like, that's just gonna happen.
I mean,
He already worked on his Krakens. Scar 3 goes with his Krakens. That's a thing.
so I'm taking some midnight white highlight. Just kind of borking that on. A nice base coat over the wings.
Once you get to a good spot, I've got another really good question from Carl for you.
All right, we're going to put a base coat. Tony, this is what we're going to do. We're going to put a base coat on this, and then I'm going to show people how to do two brush blending over top of a complex textured structure.
What color are you going to use next? And I will prep it in advance.
I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, come on.
Heart fire.
Heartfire.
No,
So-
wait, no. We're doing purple wings, right?
Are we doing purple?
There
we're
were
not doing
there were
fire
a lot
wings.
of people that also wanted to see purple.
Purple, blue, yeah, that all sounds good.
Oh, blue wings sound
Ooh, exile blue. Bust that.
awesome.
Coal black. Oh, I can see things.
All right, you
while
guys
we-
have
Like 30 seconds.
you guys have 5 minutes to decide between purple or blue wings. I'm leaning toward blue right now because blue.
Purple
just
or
sounds
blue?
awesome.
Put it in chat. Go, go, go. In the meantime, Carl asked, is there an importance in the brush hairs when painting? For example, expensive or nylon or real?
Depends on what you're doing. Right now, I'm using a synthetic brush. I'm just base coating his wings. I'm using the P3 base hobby brush. Sometimes I bust out my my sable hair brushes, watercolor brushes. It just all depends on what you're doing.
So experiment. is what I would say.
Different tools, different jobs.
I just picked up a whole bunch of different brushes at an art store over in West Seattle this last weekend because I just wanted to try them out.
You don't hammer nails with a screwdriver.
Well, you can.
Purple, blue, purple or blue, purple, purple, blue, purple. Blue would be dope. Purple.
I got blue,
Purple.
one purple from Twitch.
I got a whole bunch of both.
Y'all just making noise right now.
Yep. Purple or green. That
Purple
wasn't an
or
option.
green. The green wasn't an option.
Blue.
Purple or blue.
So it sounds like listen to your heart, Dallas, because right now it's pretty neck and neck.
I mean, the purple makes sense.
Because Lael, and that's what Ed wanted. We should probably do what Ed
I
wanted.
don't do what Ed wants.
You're not the boss of me, Ed Burrell.
Missing tasks requests blurple.
Blurple?
No.
No.
So,
Yeah, I was kind of interested to see what blue would look like, but I actually really want purple. The whole Laelese
I think,
thing
yeah,
is just for me anyway.
I agree with that. I would like to see blue, but I think purple is the would be where I would go with it for Lael.
Now we're getting the people that are like, ¿Por qué no los dos? Why can't we have both? Blue fading into purple or vice versa, says Jeff.
we can put a little purple in there.
Purple in the deep parts with blue highlights,
Or-
like lightning, says Andrew. So yes, we have lots of options.
So whatever Dallas decides to paint, when you
Yep.
guys get your mini crate mini, you paint it up the way you wanted it to be seen painted today.
And-
Send us some pictures.
Yep. And once again, you can go to mini-crate.com to not only subscribe and make sure you get dope minis, but also down at the bottom of that page, there's a place for you to submit any of your mini crate models that you've painted so we can share it with people. You can also submit just regular anything, War Machine, Hordes, Company of Iron, any of those minis. Show them to us. We want to see them. We want to share them with other folks so that we can, hang out and get your paint on with you.
Your painted level 7 minis.
Yeah, whatever. Anything privateer
Someone's
press, you want to
gotta
prime it
have-
and paint it and do it. Widower's Wood, Undercity, level 7, anything. Oh,
The-
look at Tony Go with posting that link.
The Widow's
Shazam.
Wood models are so nice to paint.
They really are. Like, I actually think I might prefer that particular version of the Black-Eyed Wrestler. Just for some reason, that one seems easier and more fun to paint. Once submitted, those mini images, you will see them on minicrate.com, mini-crate.com. You'll see them here on Get Your Paint On because we want to show off what other people are painting. And various other places, probably on Twitter, Facebook, all that kind of good stuff.
Twitters. I should not put paint on this part yet because I got to do another wash on those, on the armor. All right, so we gotta wait for that to dry. I want to see her laughing in the purple wings. What? I want to see her laughing in the purple wings. What? I don't understand John Likes Dice's comment. I was trying to be helpful and read comments. All right, so I need murderous magentas. Oh, there it is. I need that piggy purple ink. Someday.
Rikers is saying any story tidbits you can drop on Baldwin and Clog. Nothing that I have just yet, but that will definitely be a question for Mr. Douglas Seacat and Mr. Matt Getz. See if we can't get that into a Primecast or something. Looks good. Nothing broke.
No harm, no foul.
I don't even know how you didn't spill that paint.
I'm magic.
Apparently.
I'm a hairy wizard. Where's my piggy purple ink? I want to know more about Marshall and Clog. Where's my piggy purple ink?
It's not in this pile over here.
No, I don't know where it went. Where'd it go? Can you see my piggy purple ink?
Nope. Wing it. We're running out of time.
We have all the time in the world. There it is.
Found it. So you just needed that little push.
Mm-hmm. Alright, I'm going to use two size 2 brushes. Is this dry? We got to make sure this is dry. I can't do anything if this is still...
Michael Chili Winters is now watching this on Facebook and Twitch. He has become the internet's.
Ooh. So I'm going to take some Murderous Magenta.
Blorp.
And the first thing I'm going to do is kind of while this is drying, we're going to take some of this. I've grabbed too many brushes. Grab some of this Carnal Pink. We're going to paint the tips. We're just going to do one wing, Tony.
Good enough for me.
Solamente uno.
I'll take it. Oh, this is Colonel Pink. I didn't have that color up yet. Let me grab that.
Come on, Tony. God.
Yeah, I just grabbed
Yeah, I
it.
had the other stuff ready.
Yeah.
And then he changed it up, and then he changed it up.
precedent that you're supposed to be on your game. God.
I've been doing this long enough. Everybody knows I'm never on my game.
That was great. Let's do it again.
One more time. Man, we totally do not have a blow dryer in here right now, do we?
We do not.
Nope.
No blow dryer.
I take the blow dryer out for something else.
Yeah, you had it downstairs.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, but for those of you painting at home, if you don't use one already, just get yourself a cheap little blow dryer, just something that blows some warm air. Keep it plugged in by your paint station, and just give your when you're waiting for stuff to dry normally, just give that thing a shot with the blow dryer.
Yep,
Yeah,
you don't
why
have
wait?
don't have to hold it very close, especially some models you don't want to hold it terribly close. But yeah. Makes paint time so much faster. So much faster. And it does not need to be a high quality hair dryer.
No.
At all.
No, you spend
no.
$5 on that thing.
Yup.
Oh, I need this to dry. All right, well, I'm going to put a drop of mixing medium into my Murderous Magenta.
So are drying miniatures your only options for doing so? A hair dryer or patience?
Yep.
Pretty much.
I mean, unless somebody's got a different trick that I don't know about.
I mean, yeah, because you don't want to put it in a toaster oven. You don't want to put it in a convection oven. Definitely don't want to put it in the microwave. So, yeah.
Metal miniature wouldn't survive a toaster oven?
Probably not
Your
well.
paint ain't.
But the paint definitely
Yeah,
will.
fair enough.
Carl
Alright.
says lamp, and yes, you could do a lamp, but depending on what the model is made out of, that might not be the best idea.
Still
Riker's-
basically patience.
Riker's Iron just yells at it till it's dry, which I believe is the exact opposite of patience. So we've got both ends of that spectrum.
Trust me, there's enough lamps around me right now.
Right?
The little-
That is still watching paint dry or yelling paint dry.
Yelling paint dry.
I don't think that goes any faster, but to each their own.
You do you, buckaroo.
And once again, this is Ashes to Ashland, an alternate sculpt for Ashland Elise that was available in the mini crate that ships out this month. But if you subscribe right now at mini-crate.com, you will be able to get Bradigan Pit, which is dope.
Bloody Bradigan Pit. He is a super cool looking model. Sculpted by the ever talented Mr. Nathan Lombardi. Ashes to Ashland, sculpted by the ever beautiful
Dougie
Doug
Hands.
Hamiltons. Alright, I'm sorry, we gotta wait for that to dry, Tony. What do you want me to do?
We're waiting here. What do we want to talk about? Hey, since we're gonna have to cut it off pretty shortly, get your questions in, comments.
Share
What do you
with
got
your
for
friends.
gals? Share with your friends. Yes.
Have your friends come get their paint on with
Especially since this is the first time we are simulcasting out to.
Right.
That's just a fancy word.
That is.
Simulcasting out to Twitch at the same time. So if you're watching us
Sounds
on
made
Twitch, tell your friends.
Like, subscribe, share.
Absolutely. Every Thursday, 10 a.m., sit and paint with Dallas.
That way we know whether or not Twitch is something you want to hang out with us on, or if you prefer Facebook, let us know.
Yeah. And on Tuesdays at 10 a.m., we have our weekly Rumble. We're playing a bunch of Company of Iron. We'd like to get some other games in there as well in the
we've got
near
a couple
future.
things in the queue.
We'll be pushing that out to Twitch as well. So watch us on Tuesdays.
Do we know who is on next Tuesday?
Isn't it
We
you and Josh?
do, but that information is down in my studio.
I thought it was
not
Dallas
in Studio
and Josh.
B. It is Dallas and Josh. You're right.
Yeah, 'cause
well,
they
no,
gotta
I
have their
have it
fight.
written down, but I forgot. Yes.
Yeah, they've
We've
got to
been,
have their fight,
we've been
man.
putting it off for too long.
Dallas is, I think he's using his Filthy 5, or are you using your Steel Creel?
That's a really good question.
You should figure that out, because Josh is going to be bringing his. I think we left with Sanguine Salvation,
Was that the fun? Yeah,
I don't know,
Sanguine
but
I think
Salvation.
that was the final. Yeah, I think that was the final name.
especially because Dallas had to do the whole "Be my
Let's do-
Sanguine Salvation."
We do a quick recap of what we're talking about for people who may not know.
Sure. Yeah. So, number of weeks back at this point, Mr. Josh Cologne joined us on Get Your Paint On and was being tutored by our very own Dallas Kemp to get his Company of Iron
To get
stuff
his paint
ready to
on.
go and get his paint on. And so it presented us with a really cool opportunity to have someone kind of like asking questions in real time, getting some feedback from Dallas, which we try to replicate with the chat and whatnot. But it was a good way to kind of show off some additional techniques that maybe we don't always think of. And Josh's final army is ready to go, and so now he must, combat his master.
Oh, I'm gonna lose so bad. I'm gonna get crushed.
So yes, so both those shows, both to the Get Your Paint On and the Weekly Rumble, are 10 a.m. Pacific time, which is GMT -8. For those of you in various other time zones, if that makes it easier to figure
Look
out.
at you with the fancy time zone
I know,
calculation.
right? Or is it GMT +8?
It's forward
Should-
8 hours.
Well, they are,
Right.
but we're behind. So I think it's GMT -8.
Oh, yes, if we're going from
Yeah.
GMT -8.
Because in Greenwich, for Greenwich Mean Time, it should be 8 hours ahead of us right now. So we are GMT -8. Yeah. Math.
Sounds good.
Sure. I'm just gonna take your word on it.
I'm just waiting for Chad to be like, you're wrong. Because the easiest way to find out the right answer to something is to say
Is to
something
say
you're pretty
something out
sure is
loud on
wrong
the
on the internet, because then everyone will correct you.
Some people even correct you with the wrong answer.
Right, but the vast majority will usually go the other way.
Oh, I'm not saying they gave you the wrong answer on purpose,
But some do.
but some do.
Dem trolls do. What's for lunch today?
We haven't decided yet, but let's go do something.
'Cause Galactus hungers.
I was actually asked the question why we do stuff at 10 a.m. for our live streams, and my answer to that was because when we're done, we get to go to lunch.
Lunch, man.
It's really simple.
It's
There's
real simple.
there's no secret motivation. It's because we get to put food in our face holes.
It's like, all right, done with live stream. What's next? Oh yeah, lunch.
And now you understand a little more, and I'm like, we're running out of time. It's almost 11 o'clock.
Tony's like, we
Let's
gotta
wrap
go.
it up.
We gotta
Let's
go.
go.
Let's
Let's
speed
go.
it up. Come on.
All right, fine.
Tony's getting hangry.
Oh, there we go. Look at that.
Full Kona check, says Doug
Oh,
Hamilton.
I missed the full Konachek. Oh my gosh. There used to be a really good sandwich shop that Doug and I would go to near the office that no longer exists, where we would do a full Konachek, 2 complete sandwiches. They were just too good.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Alex suggests brisket? Question mark.
Ooh.
I don't know if Pagani brought any.
I don't know.
If he didn't, he's wrong.
I'm sure we would be able to smell it from in here.
Because now I want that.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a pretty decent fried chicken place nearby, but
Decent,
that is
yeah.
not brisket.
It is not brisket.
All right, so the idea here
Mhm.
is I did not cover the entire surface with the carnal pink because the carnal pink's not going to show through very much,
Mhm.
except for at the very tips where I'm going to let the blend it over.
It looks like you're not going too thick with it either.
Right now I'm not, no. The other thing I'm doing is I'm not painting the murderous magenta all the way down because the piggy purple ink is going to go all the way down, so I don't need to worry about covering that all the way down. So I don't have to paint every bloody square inch of this, right? If this is going to be pure purple, then I don't need to worry about putting the magenta down there. And if this is going to be pure magenta, I didn't have to worry about putting the carnal pink down here.
And for stuff like where you're going to use like the piggy purple ink and stuff like that, you're basically just going to let gravity do the work, right?
I'm going to blend it.
Okay.
You can blend the
The ink itself. Okay.
Yep.
See, this is why I ask.
Well, pre-wet over here. This is pretty thin. I'm treating it almost like a wash
Just wet the brush a little bit and spread it on.
at this level
Just a little.
because I want some of that tinge down in there, and I'm going to build this up.
So there you go, Nathan. Yes, Dallas can describe what he's doing.
I usually do.
Well, sometimes we get caught up. Usually involving pancakes.
I made 35 pancakes the other day. It was awesome. That's right. I said 35.
Under what
35.
circumstances were those pancakes?
What do you mean?
Like, why were you making 35 pancakes?
Because I was making 35 pancakes.
Just for you?
Oh, me and Zane.
Okay.
Because you know
That's-
it's awesome?
Making pancakes?
Leftover pancakes made into peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Holy jeez, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Good.
So after you make them, like, there's a bunch of times I'll
Oh.
make a whole bunch like that too, and I'll just throw some of the extras in the freezer because that way they stay like moist and fluffy when
Uh-huh.
you bring them back out and like pop them in the microwave for a minute, and then while they're still kind of warm, put a little peanut butter on there, or maybe throw it in the toaster with the peanut butter on so it gets kind of gooey and melty. Oh,
You guys are leveling my after work
So
snack
good.
game when I get
So
home.
good.
Just those
And
times
then-
I have leftover pancakes, just shove them in my mouth. I
And
don't even
then-
worry about it. But now,
and then
ooh.
you just put it on a plate, a little raspberry jelly on top, or a little bit of strawberry syrup, something like that. It's like a toasty peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yep. The other thing I like is like just a cold pancake, orange marmalade, and then sprinkle nutmeg on it.
Orange marmalade and nutmeg.
Oh God, yeah, dude. Dude. Cold pancake, orange marmalade, nutmeg. Dude.
I'm gonna need
Dude.
like 2 more dudes.
Dude.
All right, now what are we
Dude,
doing?
one
What are we doing right there?
We're still
Let's
painting.
get this wing finished so that we can go get food. 'Cause now I'm starving.
Josh was asking. I missed this. Are the videos archived somewhere on the interwebs? Yes, on YouTube at Privateer Press Prime.
YouTube.com/Privateer Press Prime.
That's
And
too many
There,
words.
there are playlists for Get Your
Weekly
Paint
Rumble,
On,
Get Your
Weekly
Paint
Rumble,
On.
and our Friday series of
Formula
paint
P3
tutorials.
presents all kinds of stuff.
Plus all other things Privateer Press related. The mold destruction videos.
Those make a playlist.
man.
Should make a playlist for this. We have a new one
man.
coming up.
There's
It's
a
gonna be dope.
good one coming up.
Oh,
I don't want to
man.
spoil it because I want people to watch it and be surprised, but it's gonna be dope.
Oh man.
Nathan wants to try going savory with the pancakes and try making grilled cheese with them sometime.
That works.
Yeah, it does. You can also just make a cold ham sandwich with them. No reason why not.
My favorite thing is the pancake omelet.
You've talked about that before. Cause put some bacon and that's almost.
So you take your pancake and you put your batter down on the griddle, and while it's cooking on one side, the other side, the face up part is all
doughy and
doughy.
gooey.
Throw bacon, sausage, scrambled eggs, pepper, onion, and cheese. You gotta make a bloody big pancake, and then you fold the pancake half over on itself, so it's full of that, and then you cook it all the way through, and you put it on a plate, and you cover that in syrup.
And then you just
Pancake
put it
omelet.
in your maw.
Pancake omelet. Pancake omelet.
TK Cultist likes the color direction that you're headed with these wings, Dallas.
Purpley, pinky, flames of Lael.
Mhm.
Well, there'll be more purple once, like this. The magenta is real key to a good purple glow, but this is really just establishing a lot of what the purple's gonna. This is setting up for the purple,
Yeah.
right?
Like the where it's gonna blend and where the
Yeah.
shades are gonna transition.
Yeah.
Alex says, now if only you guys would do an Iron Kingdoms video series like some other groups are doing with Pathfinder. If only, Alec. If only. Apparently we're making Zach hungry and he's already had lunch.
That's all
and
right.
we've done our job.
What
Just
about second breakfast?
be hungry to paint. What layer are we putting on there, Dallas?
Well, I'm just working the magenta. I gotta get the magenta on there. Right? Without the magenta, nothing works. We might not be able to get to this today. Tony's gonna get all frustrated.
Yeah, I think we might have to cut it short here. But Jeff Nelson just asked what the next step in this is. The colors are up on the screen, but if you want to kind of tell everybody where you're going next, and if they want to try this themselves while we are not
Lunching.
live, yeah.
So the next step will be to add, go back with Carnal Pink. Because this is flames, let's just go ahead and describe this. And I grabbed it. Woo!
She tried to fly away.
So next step will be to come back with some Carnal Pink
Mm-hmm.
and reestablish these tendrils here, maybe this little line here. Just these little flame licks, right? You want to establish those. And then we'll do the piggy purple ink over top of that. And then I'll come back and do little highlights. That's pretty much it to get that real intense purple. So this is where we're going with it.
Mhm.
We can leave it here, or I can get the next couple steps done. I did mix some Thamar black
Mm-hmm.
and into that Great Coat gray wash I made. And while we were waiting for that to dry, I started putting that in the shadows of the armor. If you go back and you're watching the video, or you were watching, you can see what's happening there. Like that.
So the other thing I want to see in the comments, even as we're closing out, we'll probably have to tally them afterwards, is should we continue with Ashlyn next week, or should we move on to, I should say move back to the next steps in the basing for the Krakens?
Yeah, let us
Curious
know.
what you guys want to see.
What would you like to see? I can get her to the point where she's ready for the next steps. So next week we can just rock right into it, or we can have those Krakens ready to go. We can leave it up to the.
Yeah, I'm
Up
curious
to
what they want
you.
to see. I mean, ultimately we'll probably do whatever it is you want, but it's good to see what they're doing.
No, I want to see what. I
No,
wanna-
Dallas, let's do what the people want.
All right, we'll do what the people want. Tony, getting all bossy over here. That boy's hangry.
So angry.
So you can see that wash on the armor. So what I'll
Mhm.
do is I'll have this all ready with the. I'll finish this armor. Get these wings ready for the next step, and then if people want to continue with Ashlyn next week,
That is the vast favorite right now, yes.
Is it okay? Then that's what we'll work on. She'll be all ready for next week.
And with that, with one last question, TK Cultist, Dallas, are you coming back to Adepticon this spring?
Yes,
Fantastic.
That's true.
See Dallas there. Bring your painted minis. Show them off.
hang out with me at
Get some
Adepticon.
feedback. Hang out.
Adepticon's a great show if you're wanting to level up your painting.
'Cause
And
they do a
it's
pretty big competition there,
There's a
don't
pretty
they?
big competition there. And it's just a fun show to hang out, and we will all be there, and there'll be some cool pre-releases and some cool exclusives and some cool Privateer Press staff members.
Some very cool exclusives. I can't say what it is just yet.
Not yet.
Soon.
But I'm super excited.
It's gonna be dope.
But
So dope.
yeah, Adepticon.
All right. Take us out, Dallas.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for hanging out. This has been Get Your Paint On every Thursday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific Time. My name is Dallas Kemp.
I'm John Swinkles. Visit mini-crate.com to make sure that you can subscribe, get Bradigan Pit, and some of the other really cool minis that we've got coming up.
And I'm Tony Konachek. Thanks for watching.
Till next time, go get your paint on. Next time, get your paint on. Every Thursday, get your paint on. You can do it.
We
Get
still
your
didn't
paint on.
decide what we're going to